Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Brianna Rittman. Today's stories include talking the Twin Cities about growing housing in the area, and a look at what city leaders are researching to fix a gap in the housing market. Plus, Wicked is in town, and we get the inside scoop as the production moves into Peoria's Prairie Home Alliance Theater for their upcoming shows. And then we're talking about the rise in energy costs. Hear about a meeting held by our local lawmakers to address rising costs. Now, our first big local story of the day, Bloomington Committee of the Whole brought missing middle housing to everyone's attention. Now, today we have Austin Thiemann joining us now with more on what missing middle housing is and how it would affect the city of Bloomington. So, Austin, what is missing middle housing and why is it important?
It's a tongue twister,
right,
isn't it? Well, missing middle housing is basically the idea that apartments, so let's draw a picture. We have apartments and we have single family homes on the other side. In the middle is that middle missing housing. That's going to be our duplexes, our townhomes, all of those multi-family homes that house multiple people. In Bloomington, there is not very many of them, and that's kind of what missing middle housing is. The thing about it is they are much more affordable, they are cheaper to build, and they can house multiple families. And Bloomington has been experiencing a housing crisis for years now. The housing market is not good. Right now, there's only about 140 homes on the market. And so building more of these middle houses would allow for more people to come and live in Bloomington Normal and have a home in Bloomington.
Okay, you touched on it just a little bit. So tell us again, how does missing middle housing impact Bloomington's housing market?
Yeah, so again, there's only about 140 homes in Bloomington right now that are for sale.
Okay.
Only about 20 of those are under $150,000 to purchase. So only about 20 homes in the entirety of Bloomington are affordable for new families, college graduates, people coming into Bloomington. Not a lot of people can afford a $300,000 house.
Right.
So
I know I can't.
I can't either, that's for sure. And so with only 20 of those houses, it's not a lot of movement in the housing market. There's not a lot of selling going on. There's not a lot of buying because no one can buy. And they don't want to sell until they have a house to buy.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So a lot of people are also coming from big businesses. You know, we have Rivian, we have
State Farm.
Yes, thank you. State Farm.
Country Financial.
Exactly. We have all these big businesses bringing people from all over the country into Bloomington. Those people need a place to live.
And for Ferrero Rocher, the chocolate factory, very important.
Exactly. Cannot forget the chocolate factory. But they all need a place to live.
Right.
So that's kind of what's going on. That's why the housing market is not really moving as much, is because no one wants to sell their home if they don't have one to buy.
Okay. So middle housing is like if I don't necessarily want an apartment, because I probably have quite a few relatives living with me, but we're not right at the level where we can get a house or we want a house.
Yeah, okay. So exactly. So it's kind of a more affordable option for a family to live in. So normally they're townhomes or duplexes, and those have two separate homes. They're just connected in the middle. So those are going to be a lot more affordable, and they're cheaper to build. And yeah.
And what plans does City of Bloomington, or did the committee of a whole speak about to help with this issue?
Yeah, so right now there's not many plans. They are in the beginning stages of making this project happen. But they're talking about, you know, where they're going to put the houses, how much they're going to cost, what kind of houses do they want to build. And those are kind of the big questions that they have to figure out before they even start anything. They mentioned a few places in Bloomington where they could put houses. Some over on Market Street, some over by Veterans and whatnot. There's some spaces where houses can be built. They just need to figure out what exactly they're going to put there before they do it.
All right, Austin, thank you for bringing missing middle housing to our attention.
Of course.
Now we're going to take a turn to the London Zoo.
Oh, man.
Okay, we're going to go from the Twin Cities all the way across the water. Now, the zoo had its annual weigh-in day. Every animal from the smallest snail to the tallest giraffe has its weight and measurements carefully recorded. The annual event is a chance to update vital health information for more than 400 species living there. Weighing is not just about numbers on a scale, but it's is a way to track growth, monitor pregnancies, and spot any unexpected changes. And get this, the penguins getting weighed and were given a fish as a treat for cooperating.
That is so cute.
It is.
I love penguins, and the lemurs were also cute. Like, I wonder how big they get.
Kind of a little tied to London. Before I came to WMBD, I was a newspaper reporter in Polk County, Florida, so the Central Florida area, and we had this big annual Swan Day, and they were swans or descendants of swans that the Queen had gifted to them.
Okay.
So it was the same thing. That was the day they got their measurements and their height, their weight, and all that. So I got to go.
Is so fun.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So.
Yeah, I wish they would do something like this around our area in Peoria or
At
Bloomington.
first when I read, I was like, oh, Miller Park Zoo has a weigh-in day. Or Wildlife Prairie Park. Maybe they should do that. That would be fun.
I would attend that just to watch.
Yes, to see
Right.
to see the day-to-day operations, because I'm pretty sure they do that, but it's a nice attraction for the public to see.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, thank you, Austin, for joining me
for
Beyond the Headlines. We have more Beyond the Headlines coming up after the break. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, where we chat with our reporters about stories that matter to you. Now, we've already talked about middle housing in Bloomington. Now, here's a wickedly cool story. The second highest grossing Broadway show is opening in Peoria this Friday, and crews are setting the stage. Our very own Alex Berger was at the Prairie Home Alliance Theater and joins us now. So what was it like seeing the setup, Alex?
You know, Brianna, it was something I have not seen at that level before. It was like the Navy. There were crews coming in and there was set pieces coming in because it's Wicked. It's Wicked. You know, there's a lot of people who love Wicked. It's a very popular show. And as you said, it's the second highest grossing Broadway show of all time. But they have a person dedicated to making sure everybody is doing what they see, you know, doing what they're supposed to be doing, getting things in and out. And there's some yelling that happens, but it's all for good measure. It's yelling too because there's people on ladders at the very top having to put in a lot of different set pieces and things you'll see throughout the show. And then when they say everybody break, they all go on break and then they come back and they do it all again.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very organized, a very arranged thing that they do, but it's a really big setup for a really big show. So.
Right. Now, is this the first time, second time, third time? How many times has Wicked been to Peoria?
This is the third time. So Wicked has been in Peoria twice before. It was in 2012, 2017, both, and now obviously 2025. These are three of the Broadway in Peoria series. As we've seen many shows come through Peoria now with the recently named Prairie Home Alliance Theater. But the reason this is so big is because of the recent movie that has come out. And I asked Joseph Heaton, the assistant stage manager with the national tour for Wicked, I was like, is the movie causing a lot more tickets?
Right.
Yes, a lot more people are buying the tickets now. It's Wicked. They were selling tickets before, but the movie has helped.
Brought some more attention to
exactly. So
are they sold out already? Did they mention?
They have not sold out yet. There are still tickets available that are available for the show. So they haven't yet sold out, but
close. You don't want to wait till the last minute.
Exactly. Heaton did say that he anticipates it will sell out. So.
Okay, now what are some features of this show?
Yeah, well, obviously I mentioned the lots of set pieces.
Right.
There's some unique things to this show that you won't see in any other show. There is Glinda's Bubble. Okay. That's kind of a big one. The opening scene is, you know, Glinda the Good Witch comes in on the bubble, and how they do it is they have a big rig at the top and she slides in. Okay. And it's on an automatic thing, and she comes in, and that they have a rig to where she is harnessed. Okay. She comes in that way. And then obviously the iconic thing for any Wicked production is the dragon. Right. The dragon at the very top of the stage, it's mounted and it shoots smoke. So at certain times in the show, it breathes its fire. I remember when I saw it when I was 5. Okay. Didn't remember anything about the show, but I remember how scared I was at that dragon. So
You were very on theme with your pink tie
Hey,
today. I thought you were going
hey.
to give us a demenstration.
I'm not
Dress
wearing it.
rehearsal. Give us a quick dress rehearsal.
Exactly. I am. This wasn't intentional, but I am wearing the Glinda colors. But no, yeah, it was a very great, setup there, and they had a lot of stuff going on, and you could see the posters from the previous productions as well. So it's making its third stop here. So.
All right. Well, staying with entertainment, this story has the world talking. A DJ performing at a hotel in Las Vegas was told Justin Bieber wanted to make a surprise performance, so he took the stage and sang a few songs. But it turns out that wasn't the real Justin Bieber. It was an impersonator. The man was able to trick staff at the Wynn Las Vegas into thinking he was the real pop star. Even DJ Griffin, who was performing, thought it was Bieber and let him take, he was a believer, and let him take the stage in front of a big crowd. Eventually, the hotel staff realized what was happening and escorted the non-believer off.
Happens to the best of us.
You win some, you lose some, man.
Sometimes you're just performing a DJ set and fake Justin Bieber comes on
karaoke
stage.
night.
Exactly.
That's how I would've
and his
said it.
new album. Hey, I would have gotten excited too.
I mean, it's Vegas. They have, like, the lookalikes are there.
Exactly. So what
What are you supposed to do? Say, let me see your ID?
exactly. Are you the Justin Bieber? Yeah.
How would you verify that? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Hey, even if he's real or not, I still would have gone crazy at that show. That would have been good. But
He clearly did a good job. I wonder what ticked them off to know that it wasn't him.
Yeah, someone had to have gone. Wait a second.
That's not where his birthmark is. It's on his right arm, not his left arm.
That's the wrong lyric, actually. I'm not happy
That's
with
not the
that.
way his pitch is off.
Do you think somebody knew the whole time, though? Somebody knew the whole time. and they're
Somebody
like-
had to know. At least one person. Maybe he had a friend or something with him. Like,
He had
but it's Vegas. People just want to have fun.
he had
so
a fake usher with him, is what he.
Right. People probably didn't even really care. Well, thank you, Alex, for joining me on the
Absolutely.
couch. We'll have more Beyond the Headlines after the break. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Now, our final big story for the day, local lawmakers meeting in a virtual hearing yesterday to discuss energy costs. Now, Cameron Main is sitting right here with me now to explain what were our lawmakers working to do.
Yeah, so basically, they've recognized this as an issue, and
Okay.
especially because of the summertime, it's just become a huge issue for everyone. The rates have been getting higher, and one thing that we did learn from the meeting is that Ameren is predicted to drop their prices in the fall.
Okay.
That's what we heard in the meeting. But I think one of the biggest things is what's happening with energy,
So the heat's rising, causing us to cut our AC up, and our prices are. That's what's
So
going on.
that's the main reason why some of the prices have gotten higher recently is because of an PGM option. So they give the amount of money and then the company buys that and it's set at a certain level. So that was the level had gotten higher because of data centers, and then it came a little bit higher over the summertime because it's been really hot. It puts more pressure on the grid. Now it's mainly the data centers that have been the huge problem, and that's just kind of been the main focus of all the lawmakers, and they all kind of gave their input, but there wasn't much legislative action, I would say, that came from that meeting.
So what other conversations came up at the committee hearing?
Well, some of the biggest things that were said were the impact to solar companies. Some of them are losing their tax credits from federal cuts. That became a bit separate from the data centers. And then the data centers also became the main conversation just because they absorb so much energy. And one ComEd spokesperson said they've heard data centers say they want possibly gigawatts worth of energy. And for
Okay.
example, a solar panel by itself peaking on average produces like 0.0000018 of a gigawatt of energy a day. So that's just to put into perspective of how much energy these data centers are taking up, and it's putting a lot of pressure on the grid, and it's expected to double by 2030.
Were any energy legislation proposed today?
There were some ideas, but nothing concrete.
Okay.
I think some ideas that were brought up included a short-term solution of starting up some of the coal power plants that had closed down. There were other ideas of maybe the data centers need to bring and build their own energy to actually basically get them to be at the same level because there's worries that they might take energy from the grid, and if they buy up places, because that would just take energy from the grid, it wouldn't really help. So those were some of the ideas. Nuclear power plants, maybe building some more, but these are projects that take a long time. Battery storage was also another one that's been talked about a lot this year as a potential solution to energy prices, because we are going to need more electricity. We're going to be using electric cars. We're going to be having these huge data centers. We're going to be having a lot of things that use a lot of electricity. So now it's just going to be the legislature needs to figure out something, a bill that they can put forward and try and at least get these long-term projects into action so it doesn't become a disaster for energy and we have a reliability issue where people just can't get energy. So right now, like, we can get all our energy fine, but it is an issue of what is the future going to be.
Okay, well, thank you, Cameron, for explaining that to us.
No problem.
Now, here's a fun story. The social media wave is changing up how we speak, and the Cambridge Dictionary is taking notice, adding more than 6,000 new words to make our language a little more, say it for me, skibbity.
Skibbity?
Okay, that's one of the new dictionary words. It can be used to describe something as cool, bad, or just as a joke. Other words added to the dictionary include green flags and red flags, things people do that either make you want to see them again or never see them again. And much more like delulu for delusional and inspo, meaning inspiration. What do y'all think?
This is very interesting. You know, they add new words to the dictionary every year, and every year I get more and more concerned.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I like them adding skibbity. Like, they're keeping up to date on things. Like, imagine if the dictionary, like, around the 1500s, they're like, we're not adding these words like Jupiter and Saturn.
Oh, look at this. We only add words where we think they'll have staying power.
Oh, okay.
So red flags, green flags, skibbity
There's
does
a whole
concern me.
dictionary industry is
I
what
don't
we're learning.
understand why some things need to be in the dictionary. Like delulu is a term, red flag, green flag's a term, but why do they need the dictionary?
They have to stay up to date to what we create, because we create the language, it's not the dictionary. So if skibbity has been around for a while and skibbity's a word.
Today was my first time ever hearing that.
Really? It's huge with the
Can
kids.
you please explain what skibbity is?
So it's a toilet, and there's a head coming out of the toilet, and it sings this song that goes like skibbity dub dub dub, yes yes. That's the song, and then it's this whole, like, imagine this whole like Star Wars, like a space opera-esque story to it, based on Earth, of these people that have cameras on their head versus the toilets that have heads coming out of them. And there's all these different names, there's all these different laws, there's all these different theories. And funny enough, it was almost a national security issue because the guy who makes Skibbity Toilet, the original, he's actually from Russia, and he's done like pro-Putin stuff on his YouTube channel. So there was once a point where they're like, maybe we need to ban Skibbity Toilet because it's, you know, dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
But it's just a head in a toilet.
Okay. Well, Cameron, thank you for explaining skibbity. And thank you for joining us for today's Beyond the Headline. We discussed housing in Bloomington, Wicked coming to Peoria, and energy costs in the summer. You can find all these stories over on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.